What's up everybody, Couch Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Valorant video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Valorant becoming Overwatch, or rather players freaking out about the current state of abilities in the game. And a lot of people are mad and pissed off, and there are even wars between Counter-Strike and Valorant going on right now on Twitter, so we're going to talk about it and break it down. But the GameLeap website is the place you got to go. If you want to climb incredibly quickly, I don't care what rank you're at, we've had so many improvement stories coming straight to us from the GameLeap website, so do yourself a favor and go check it out right now down below. Now, there was a very important screenshot tweeted out, and this is what the screenshot was, and it said, quote, no, Valorant is mainly about shooting, bro, also Valorant. And it shows this screenshot, and this screenshot looks freaking ridiculous. Double neon wall, brimstone, all smoke appearing on the right side of the screen, and even a sage slow in there. There's a lot going on here. And this just looks freaking insane. But let's actually show the clip that this comes from Korean Pro Play. Rolling it right now.
지진 강타 이후에 들어가는 걸 알았어요. 그러면 여기서 대비를 해야 되고 지금 남아 있는 두나구술 하나가 지진 강타 사운드에 동시에 깔려야 됩니다.
자, 카운터 기술로 제대로 깔렸어요.
깔렸어요.
자, 좋은 타이밍 들어갔는데
그렇죠. 이렇게.
Now, this has had the internet just kind of explode. A lot of players are freaking out about this, especially on Twitter. Even websites like Dextero are freaking posting articles comparing this directly to like SEM walls and barriers in Overwatch, showcasing that there's a lot of similarities there. And there were even players coming out saying stuff like, quote, thought this game had a chance to compete with CS for all time when it came out. Then they took the Fortnite route and way overdid it. Add way too much, too many mechanics, too many agents, and just plain did too much. Other players complaining that it's way too similar to Overwatch, and there's a lot of screen clutter on the screen. And then there's the war, and a lot of players saying this is why CSGO will always remain superior, because this can happen in the game that has crazy abilities, and it's just way too much. And honestly, I don't personally see the big deal with this. I understand that this looks freaking crazy, but you gotta realize how many abilities are being used here. The Brimstone is ulting, the Sage slow, the double neon wall, the smokes, like there is a ton being used here. And honestly, most of this visual clutter is directly the fault of Neon's double using their freaking utility here, which is a character that, yeah, she creates two walls, but it's not for very long. And honestly, we've never ever seen two neons directly against each other at high levels before. It's really hasn't happened from my recollection. And you could always imagine a composition with the characters in play that would just have tons of just screen clutter all over the place. Like, imagine a world where like Neon, double controller with Viper and Omen, Fade, and Sky were like all meta. For whatever reason, that was the composition. Wouldn't that just create a ton of screen clutter just automatically? Like, Riot can't control what compositions are played. And there also even are scenarios that you could imagine that would be pretty easy to create screen clutter. Like double Astra ult, double neon wall. Like, that would just look ridiculous, and it could easily happen, and that's just the way it is. You gotta understand that we're talking about abilities that don't last very long, that are not on a repeated cooldown most of the time. They're like one and done abilities that you have to buy, not like Overwatch that you just get to do it over and over and over again. And then ultimates, you only use those once in a blue moon. The fact that teams would line them up and use them together, I mean, it can happen, but I don't really think it's a big deal, and I don't really understand players complaining about this. But I do want to tackle one of the things that a lot of people say is, as the game expands, you have to make sure to reel in the, the visual clarity. You got to make sure that things aren't too crowded on the screen. And as a general rule of thumb, I think that Riot has done that with the flashes. That was a big thing at the start, where flashes literally would blind you forever, but they also have reeled back some of the flashes with Sky and Breach both losing a flash. And if they are just conscious about some of the abilities that are maybe, incorporated in the game that add to visual clutter, I don't think this will be that big of a deal. No matter how big they get the roster, there can only be 5 players on each team. And of course, there's going to be anomalies up or down always, and you can't change that. But I don't really think this is a big deal. And there's tons of strengths to having a game based on abilities as opposed to a game like CSGO that at the end of the day, the game can't change all that much, right? Everyone is the same character. You can add new weapons and change maps and things like that, but Valorant gets to evolve in a very unique way. And honestly, character shooters are really the future. And you know, if you don't like it, CSGO is still there. You can go play that game. I just don't think this is a big deal. And I don't know why everyone is losing their minds about it on the internet. But I really want to pass the question off to you. Do you think that this is like a problem right now that needs to be solved? Do you think it could become a problem if Riot doesn't make sure to reel this stuff back, either away from the meta or don't introduce as much screen clutter in the game, period? Or do you say bring on more screen clutter? Do you not even care? Do you think, hey, it's part of the game, their abilities, they don't come around that often? I'm really curious to hear your opinion about all that down below. And the GameLeap website's the absolute best place to pop off and absolutely frag out with in-depth tips, tricks, guides, and so much that will help you just dominate. So do yourself a favor and go check it out right now down below.